I'm Chase.
And I'm Timothy.
And this is Customer Service.
All right. Welcome to the Customer Service Podcast, where we'll be giving you live information on voting today. Just kidding. I haven't looked at all.
I have my ballot with me. I need to drop it off on the way home.
You do need to drop it off on the way home.
Yeah.
You didn't do an early one?
What do you mean?
Well, have you had it for a minute?
This is early, isn't it?
No, I don't know.
I may have had it for a long time. I just didn't know.
Playing footsie with me too under the table.
No, I may have had it for. I don't know. I don't know, man.
Look, I don't know. I just know it comes to me, and I go, tomorrow we get it done. So I don't think about it because I don't want it hanging out too long.
Mine has been somewhere in the house. We may have had it for a long time. I
like doing it because I used to hate when you go to the booth. I'd get nervous as hell because I felt like I was on a timeline in there. You know what I mean? Because there's like people waiting. And in Chicago, when we had to go, there'd always be the longest lines. And then you'd finally get through it 4 hours later. It was like pack a lunch. And then I'd get in there and I'd be so nervous that I was going to click the wrong thing or put the punch thing in the wrong...
Get the chads all the way through.
Yep. So this is... I like it this way much better.
Yeah.
Take my time,
Easy.
Make sure I look up everybody so I know what I'm dealing with.
Yeah, Michelle did all that, and she was telling me about what she found, and we got to talk about it. That's fun.
We're talking about it here, though. No politics. The only politics we talk are clothes politics, sneaker politics.
And I hate that, too.
You don't like that? Jordan 1 is the best good at,
yeah,
that kind of shit.
Yeah. No, give me a Birkenstock Boston. But so I'm going to drop that off after work today. I stopped by the little thing. But I don't know, man. I think I voted in person in 2016 in college. But, hey. No, that would have been 2012. I'd have been 2012.
Well, whatever. It's not a fun year, and it hasn't been a fun year. I don't like any of this shit.
No.
Let's get off the subject. Let's move on. We had a busy weekend.
Here's the thing, pal. We talked about this just a second ago. We could talk about it now. In the month of October, I've not been with you and Abby 3 days.
It's too much. It's too much.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yesterday, I was like, this is the one day, and I'm going to do yard work, and then I'm just going to sit on the couch. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's been too many. It's been like I don't remember what was it. Was it like Labor Day thing, and then Japan? Or was there something else before? It doesn't matter. Then there was Japan. Then there was EG launch, and then we traveled to Wisconsin, and then warehouse sale, and then
Yeah.
And then we're only gonna have like a couple weeks before like we go to Black Friday, and then we got holiday, and so this is just a busy back half of the year.
A lot of fucking around, man. What'd you do this weekend?
Well, we both did the warehouse sale on Saturday.
If you came by, thank you for coming by.
Appreciate
if you participated via Patreon, thank you for participating as well.
So shout out to Patreon crowd. Just a little reminder, if you don't know, you get early access and digital access via joining the Patreon. Or you can come by and shop in person. Each one gets their own like exclusives too, which is fun. So yeah, so it's always good. I mean, it's like I like doing it in the sense that it's like, it's cool to see people. We don't see people as much as we used to because of working out of the warehouse.
Yeah.
I mean, in the studio. So, we don't get that experience as much anymore. So it's fun, and I like there's the big line, and it's kind of nerve wracking because we're trying to get through everything, and inevitably we have like hardware problems and stuff.
Yeah.
So, it was good though. It's good. I like doing them. It's fun.
It's fun. A lot of people came through, like you said. Internet was kind of shit. I was going to cut the internet, but then I was worried it would fuck up our security system.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
And also pulling, I was going to reset it. Similar to how you would reset the internet when you would have to take your Ethernet cable from your router, plug it into the back of your Xbox, hard unplug the bitch, plug it back in 10 seconds. So I was going to do that, but then I was like, well, we got security systems set up, and I'm not even sure the internet, and also technically the internet goes to like another building too, so it was a whole thing. But we did get through it.
We got through it.
What'd you do afterwards?
What did I do afterwards? I went home.
You go to the movies? I think you were going to the movies.
Yeah, I went to the movies that night. I went and saw the movie Anora, which I saw a couple people talking about like in Discord, and I've chatted with a couple people because I was very jealous because the one thing that sucks is like Boulder, we never get early stuff. A lot of places will get it like a week before, but I don't want to drive like out to Denver to go to Alamo Draft House, which I like Alamo Draft House. I like the whole deal. I like that it's nice, but I don't want to eat food and have like servers when the movie's going out.
And maybe even more specifically, I want to spend as little amount of time in Denver as I can. I'm a Denver hater, bro. I lived there for 3 years, so I've paid my dues. But anytime I go back, it's too much.
The bustling city of Denver is just too much for you.
It honestly is. It honestly is.
Bumpkin ass. I think that
I am a bumpkin.
The reality is this is just your crazy speak of like, it's fine. I don't have to go that often. I don't necessarily like want to, but I'll go see a show there. That's like a live show. I'm not going to go see a movie there that I can see in 1 week here. It's obviously way easier. Yeah. And I go to like late movies, and I don't want to like, I'm not getting home until like, I'm already getting home at like 1 or 2 a.m. This is going to put it till 3. I don't want to do that. It's too much for a movie that it's just a week difference. But if it's a dinner, it's a night. There is better food. Sure.
I don't disagree with that.
They got better food and in some cases better coffee and in some cases. And there's you see a show, more bands go to Denver than they come to Boulder.
Shout out Dry Storage.
Yeah.
But Denver does have good food and good this, that, and
that's
that.
not a coffee shop, though.
Disagree.
That's a bakery.
Yeah, but food too.
Yeah,
but I don't disagree. I just like really, and you know what? You touched on something. It might be the drive from where I'm at. It's a 45-minute drive minimum, and you got to drive on 25, which sucks.
I don't think about it that much. Is the difference?
No. Boulder's great. Longmont's better.
No, absolutely incorrect. Absolutely incorrect. That's an insane statement. It's like, first of all, wherever you go, you're just going to say that's the best.
Hey, turns out I'm in the best
Denver's
place
actually
always.
the best. Longmont's actually the best. Oklahoma City's actually the best.
Oklahoma City, I don't know.
That's probably too bustling for you.
It probably is a little too bustling.
That's probably crazy.
But no, all right. So you went to the movies. Tell me about the movie because you said it was crazy.
I mean, I think that like
I know nothing about it.
It's Sean Baker. He's done some really good movies. Tangerine's really great. I really loved Tangerine. I think that like the easiest way to describe it to you maybe is like, kind of feels like a little like Uncut Gems, in that like it's kind of like not necessarily set in one night, but the predominant amount of the story is set in one night.
Oh, I dig that. I like that.
It's really frantic. It has really chaotic energy. Like it's always people talking on top of each other. But then it also has these like really smart kind of like smart cultural commentaries and really intense character development kind of things that's happening in like a condensed amount of time.
Can you give me like what it's about?
Yeah, so it's basically like there's this girl who's working as a stripper, and she one night some Russian kid comes in, requests somebody that can speak Russian. She can speak a little bit of Russian, so she hangs out with him for the night. One thing leads to another. He has to be exclusive with her. It turns into a marriage that is then found out by he's an incredibly wealthy son of. They don't really get into specifics, but she's now involved with this Russian family that's like extremely wealthy and is trying to annul the marriage extensively, and then that's sort of the.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah, so you get a lot in a condensed amount of time, and then it's like this long drawn out thing. Like I said, it's very chaotic.
Cool.
Yeah, so it's good, and it's the ending was incredible. I'm so smart, so well done. He's a director is very good at building a whole world. Even when it's like a clash of multiple things, like he'll take like a clash of, in this case, extreme wealth and extreme poverty and sort of like clashing them together. And you can kind of see, I mean, it also has like elements, I think, of like the smarter writing of like White Lotus, touching on like Lotus, class and wealth and things like that, but still having like able to like pepper in really, really, really funny moments with really dramatic, serious and sad moments at the same time.
Cool.
So there was like a couple like legitimate like big laughs at the same time as there was like these like, gut punches and stuff. It's won a bunch of awards. Like it seems like everything that it tours, it wins. And I think rightfully so. I haven't like tried to think about like what my top 5 of the year are, but there's no question that it's in the top 5.
Yeah.
I just don't know where it will go compared to other things, but it also feels like to me like a movie that like you would get and like for like different reasons than maybe I would like it, different reasons someone else would like it. It seems like it actually could appeal to like such a broad audience as like depending on what you like to go to the movies for.
Yeah, right on.
And I think her name's Mikey Madison. She's incredible. She's like a star. She needs to be in everything from here on out. Because she's just like, she's so watchable and entertaining and like so good at the like, you know, she's screaming in a bunch of it. She's making jokes, fucking around. She's kind of bitchy at sometimes, and she's kind of very soft and delicate. And she's good at all of them. She's just like, anytime she's on screen, you can't not look at her. Yeah. You know, so she's great. And like all of the character actors that sort of supported her were also excellent. So
awesome.
Really good movie. I would highly suggest it. Like I said, for me, probably top 5, but I also think it's getting to be kind of inarguable. I think it's one of the best reviewed movies of the year.
Oh, right
on. And so it was totally worth the wait, because when I heard about it, like kind of beginning of this year, it was like, oh man, that sounds right up my alley. Like great director, great actress, really cool storylines that from what I understood, and it really delivered on everything. So I was hyped to see that.
Cool.
I did have to do a rare thing though in a movie that I don't normally have to do. I had to pee twice.
No kidding.
It was a little longer than I expected. Like, there's kind of arcs to it, you know?
Yeah.
And at one time I was like, I should have gone before the movie started. Yeah. And I was like, I never do this. But I'm like, I know it's close. I'm gonna book it. I kind of waited till I had a moment. I booked it, came back. And then like, I was like, man, I don't pee again. You know what I mean? and I was like, we have to be close to the ending. And then I wait for like a while and I'm like, no, I don't think we're in like the third act actually. So I was like, I have to do it.
Yeah.
So I had to do it. And then I was embarrassed when I came back in. I sat by one of the seats that was close to the exit area. So kind of a rarity. I usually map it all out and have it all set.
Yeah, no, I mean, well, you're a pro at this. This is something you do, is go to movies. So.
I messed it all up. It's because I haven't been in a while.
Yeah.
Messed everything up.
Fucked your whole flow up. It's
but
like
when I was at the movie theater, I don't know if we talked about this on the pod or off pod. It doesn't matter. I'll just tell it now. Last time I was at the movie theater, I don't know if this was on the pod, so sorry if it is. I saw like the biggest bird I've ever seen in my life.
We talked about this, yes.
Okay, we talked about it on here. And we were speculating it was a raven, because I'm like, its body was like the size of this table that we're at. It was huge. When it had its wings out to just kind of go from one ledge to another, I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
So anyway, I pull in. I'm sitting in my car for a minute because it's not quite time. And I'm like, man, I was like looking outside of my window. I'm like, there's like a lot of bird shit right here. And I just got in the car wash. So I'm like, I'm going to pull into the spot ahead. Pulling in the spot ahead, it was the right move because I looked up and I'm like, oh God, there's 2 of them and they're both up there.
Seriously?
So I walked up kind of close to see it. And honestly, as I was getting closer, I'm like legitimately kind of scared of these things because they would like turn their head to look at you. And dude, their beaks are like this long.
So sick. I'm not kidding. I want to go look at them.
So I'm out there staring at it. You know what I mean? The guy in the electric vehicle that drives around, the security guy,
yeah.
He pulls around and he goes, fucking ravens, right? Crazy. And I was like, those are ravens? And he goes, yeah. And he goes, just 2 of them. They've been up there for like a year. So they just live in this parking garage.
That is so sick.
He goes, it's annoying. They shit on everything. And to be fair, like you looked at this point, you're like, oh my God.
Oh, shit, yeah.
But like they're so much bigger than you kind of think. When you see, when I was looking up close, I was kind of nervous.
Yeah.
Because like, oh, if one of them came at me, like I can't, I don't know if I could beat it.
Well, you probably couldn't.
I mean,
it wouldn't kill you, bro. But like it could like peck your eye out or something. Like, you know what I mean?
No,
like,
I take it back. I get a solid. It comes out. Get a little hook on it once, and I grab the arm and spin it around.
That's sick. Yeah.
I'd be okay. But but I mean, just so much more animal than you realize.
Yeah, and like a dark purple. Mm-hmm. You know,
I saw another movie that I thought you would maybe think was interesting. It's a new horror movie from Steven Soderbergh, who's like a mixed reviews.
What else has he done?
Oh, it's a myriad of things. You should just look. It's all sorts of different things. That's a little bit the problem with him. Sometimes good, sometimes bad. Usually a decent writer, director, dicey to me. But it's just a new movie where it's a ghost story, but the camera is the ghost. And it does these weird like camera things. Like,
wait, that's kind of cool. So the people are, when they're looking at the ghost or noticing it, they're looking at the camera.
Yeah.
Huh.
So it's like the camera is the thing
is it
haunting
in theaters?
the people. Not yet. It's not out yet.
Oh.
It had some early reviews I saw that looked pretty decent.
Is it like funny or dark?
Dark.
Oh,
like it's
cool.
like a scary movie.
I'm interested in that.
It looked it was interesting. I like anytime when I hear of like a horror movie who's pushing the boundary of what a movie can be.
Yeah.
I like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Good or bad, I like testing it. It's like how I like to see Avatar. It's like, well, this is just a wild thing they're accomplishing with technology that I like to see. Whether it's good or bad is irrelevant. It's just like a big broad scale or a big swing or something.
Yeah.
I like that kind of shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I don't know. It looked interesting. The trailer looked kind of good.
Speaking of movies, and then I want to hear more about The Weeknd. Let's talk about The Weeknd more. But Michelle and I watched a trailer for The Substance because it's out for rent on Amazon.
It's free on Mubi if you got Mubi. Shout out Mubi.
Yeah, maybe
I
let's
want
do the
Mubi to
trailer.
sponsor the pod.
Yeah?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Well, let's email
Mubi
them.
or Criterion Collection, either of you, will take your sponsorship.
Yeah.
And I don't need money. I literally
we'll
just want a
take-
free subscription.
Yeah, we'll take whatever.
Yeah. I'd do it for a hat.
First off, dude, I don't think there's anything... Coffee doesn't work on me. Mm-hmm. This is my fourth or third cup. Easy. I've said it before. I've said it again. I can say it again. I could drink a cup of coffee at 9:30 and be asleep at 10. It's not... It doesn't work on me. So there's got to be something genetic to it. Something chemically in my body because it does not work. I'm still yawning. You know what I'm saying? I'm drinking a lot of coffee. Anyway, we watched the trailer for The Substance. It looks insane. You use the term body horror.
Body horror.
What does that mean? Does it mean it's gory?
No, I mean, no, it doesn't have to. It means that there's like some sort of like weird sort of like physical horror. You know what I mean? Like whether it's like they're opening somebody up and it is graphic or whatever, or it's like transformation style stuff like Jeff Goldblum's The Fly would be. I think you could argue that that's body horror. This is. I don't know how to.
Have you seen
I don't
the
know
movie?
how to define it exactly. No, not yet. I want to see it, but I just haven't seen it yet.
Okay, I was wondering because I'm not a gore guy.
It's gonna be like I
do
have to
for
watch it
me.
on my laptop or my phone or something kind of thing.
okay.
So I haven't. You know what I mean? Cause
Yeah.
because of a kid. And
Yeah.
I guess I think it is still playing in the theaters. Maybe I could still catch it before it's out.
Okay,
But
I think maybe we'll rent
supposed
it
to be great.
soon. Yeah, it just looked like a real trip. You know what I mean?
It's a weird movie, yeah, from
Yeah,
what I
yeah,
understand.
yeah.
But I mean, like that's sort of body horrors are often strange.
Would you consider The House That Jack Built body horror?
Maybe a little bit. I mean, elements of it for
Because
sure.
that's a movie that stuck with me. Of like I thought about it for months following of being like,
Yeah.
that was insane. I've never seen a movie quite like that.
Yeah, and that's a weird one for sure.
That-
That's
that-
a little bit of like psychological, torment
Head vice
stuff,
kind of
yeah.
shit too, because there's leaves the house, comes back. Anyway, I like that movie, and I like it because it's so drastically different than like other movies. It's very much its own thing,
Which is why I thought of that
enjoy
one movie because I know you kind of like that.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
So well, I'll watch Anora when it comes out, and we'll definitely rent The Substance.
Oh, not Anora. That's not. But you would. I do think you would like Anora.
I think I would
think
like
that
it,
would
yeah.
actually be a good one for Machan. With stuff Machan seems to like and the stuff you seem to like,
Cool.
kind of mixed. Because it's not like any. It's not like a one type of. It'd be hard to define.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a roller coaster ride.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like movies that are weird. Like for instance, in The House that Jack Built, at some point they go to hell, and it's a long drawn out. You know what I mean? It's just weird.
Yeah.
I like for him to
You ever see Jacob's Ladder?
no.
It's like an older horror-ish movie, kind of psychological thriller too. I think you'd like it. It's weird.
Okay,
Big twists and stuff.
Yeah. Dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like a twist. I like M. Night Shyamalan. So
You think I'd like The Substance if I like M. Night? Or I love that when when I was really into horror movie and I would like talk to people about it and stuff. People were like, oh yeah, man, I love like M. Night, Shining, and it's like, okay, that's not the world I'm living in.
yeah, The
But
Shining
I hear
is
ya.
stellar though.
It's a stellar movie, but it's like horror adjacent.
yeah.
I mean, it's just it's a thriller and mixed with I don't know, it's just like it's a movie. It doesn't feel like it has like a specific genre.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
not really intended to, I don't think, but it's like
Yeah.
using tropes of horror.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, what else? It was my birthday this weekend.
Yes, sir. Happy
I'll say
birthday.
now
I
that it's
texted you.
over. I don't want any belated birthdays. I don't want anything.
Listen, let me
turned
tell
25.
everybody what I texted you because I know you. It's short and sweet. I said, "Happy birthday, bro." Next text, I hope you're not watching football. And that's it.
I wasn't.
And I meant it for you.
Yep.
You know what I
Just to
mean?
be fair, even when it's on, I'm not watching it.
Yeah.
It's not. I just even
Yeah.
if it's there, I might.
Yeah.
Even when I'm looking at it, there's nothing registering in my. I'm thinking any of my other thoughts.
Yeah.
But no football. I let Abby turn it on. Well, I didn't let her. I told her I said we're not doing anything. Turn it on. It's fine. I don't care.
Yeah.
But I don't. If I can have it not on in the house, I would prefer that. But
Of course.
I don't think I'm going to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Because she's not getting into basically any sport that's on TV.
I love it.
Let's see. For my birthday, I didn't do much. I went to the movie.
Yeah.
I would have done that anyway. And
The movie you're saying the movie before.
we went to.
You didn't go to a movie last night as well, then?
No.
Okay.
I would have, but I was too tired. I bought a PlayStation, like I said I was
Yes.
going to.
Yeah,
Again,
yeah.
It's something I would have done whether it was my birthday or not. It was just like an excuse to do it. Also, when my daughter woke up, she likes to decorate the house. It's like one of her favorite things to do, any sort of decorating of the house for any reason. So she does it up. Then she decides she's, in her words, 1,000% jealous that I have a birthday and she doesn't.
Yeah.
In general. And so we came to a conclusion to soften the blow that we would split the birthday.
Yeah.
So we did a lot of things that sort of she wanted to do also, which was fine. Because I'm not a big birthday guy.
Yeah, understood.
So she pretty much played the PlayStation, but she is very into it.
Sick. And you said that she kind of took to it right away, huh?
Figured it out almost immediately. I want to figure out a way to get her on Twitch playing games because it's funny to watch because of the things that she chooses to do are so different than anyone else. And then she like talks to the NPCs out loud. So if they say like she's walking around the street, she's playing the Spider-Man game because I thought she's not going to do the fighting stuff. She's just going to walk around there. And she walks around just on the street instead of flying around half the time. And then they'll be like, hey, happy holidays, Spider-Man. She goes, thank you. Just answers all their questions.
Does she know she's being funny?
No, she's just talking.
Yeah.
We might as well not be in the room.
Yeah.
Because she gets into it and then doesn't care.
She's just doing
for
her
it.
thing. Yeah.
So she played with that and she played some sort of Bluey game that was insane. It was like an insanely difficult platformer, basically, but I was helping her with it.
Nice.
So yeah, we did that. And that was pretty much, and we made some food, but nothing too wild.
Yeah.
About where I like it, you know?
Yeah, of course. It's the way to be.
Yeah, so let's see. So we did that. I'm trying to think of anything else that happened on the weekend. Did you do anything interesting?
You know, we did warehouse sale. I'm happy to report that we followed through on what I said we were going to do, which we hit H Mart. Loaded up on ramen noodles, loaded up on konbu to make dashi. I got some dashi powder. We got pork belly, you know, a whole bunch of shit, pot stickers, et cetera, et cetera. And then just kicked it. Yesterday, woke up immediately, bro, we filled, I think, 20 bags of, you know, those brown paper Home Depot lawn bags. 20 bags of leaves because the city picks them up today for free.
You talk about this on almost every single podcast.
I had to do it. We got it done. It sucked.
What the listeners don't understand, because they're only with us a couple times a week, and even that feels like too much to me but for them. But you talk about the things you're going to do
I have to.
so much before you do them. So much.
I need everybody in my life to know what I'm doing. Not everybody in my life, but the people around me.
Every single day for 2 weeks.
It's because I've been excited about it.
Just go, you understand you could just go there on a Wednesday.
No.
Why?
Too far.
No, come on.
I don't get home till 7, bro. I don't get home till 7.
What time are you going to bed?
Fucking
Don't
like
tell me what time.
11:30.
Okay.
That's really when we've been going to sleep lately.
Well, that's fine, but that's
it's like
still
a 45-minute drive from my
hours.
house. They probably close at 9. I'll tell you right
What's
now.
the point of being two childless adults with jobs to not go do things whenever you want to do them?
They close at 9 p.m. I'd be rushed.
Jesus Christ. Jeez, I'd be rushed.
I would. I'd be rushed.
The place isn't that big.
No, but we were thorough.
Ugh.
So, but we did go.
I don't
want to
hang out with you guys.
No, and you're right. We are childless people, and it's nice.
Childless people with more rules than childed people have.
It's me with the rules. Mishan's much more flexible. It's me with the silly rules that I build, but it's just the way I got to do it. You know, just
talk about it for 2 weeks. Don't do it. Then eventually do it.
Eventually do it.
And then you have to come in and report on it for several days after.
Had to. So that's all we did. Did all the yard work, and then
I can't believe you were able to do more than one thing. That H Mart thing really takes up the whole day.
Well, it did. Well, we went later in the afternoon. We went after the warehouse sale, so we didn't get home till it was dark.
Oh my god!
By the way, you didn't even mention it, but it was a surprise to me. Time changed.
Why would it be my responsibility to mention
it? It didn't shake your world?
No.
I woke up and I was like,
I have a kid, dude. The body clocking no matter what. It's the same as always.
Yeah. It caught me off guard because I woke up and I was like, it was 7:45. I was like, because I woke up and I was like, fuck, we slept till 11. You know what I mean? It felt later than it was, and I actually really like it. I like the time change going into winter. It's dark already early, so what's an hour earlier? You know what I mean? But I like that it feels like you're getting more sleep than you are or something. You know what I mean? At least that's how I process it.
Yeah, I mean, I hate the dark, so
it sucks, but it's happening. What for me? What's the difference between 5 and 6? It's the same thing.
I don't really care. This isn't something to get excited about to me. People argue about it, and I'm like, why?
I would like for it to just not
dumb.
be
all
a
of
thing.
It's dumb.
I think it'd be easier we all just agree that it just stays what it is. You know
I don't understand why we have different time zones. I understand this is all for light purposes, but we are not farmers, so none of this matters.
Yeah, that's why it was originated. I'm pretty sure
there's a handful of people that are like, just call it a different time than it is. What's it matter? What are you, a farmer and a stock trader? What are you doing that you need both of those?
That's what I was talking to Michelle about because I was like, this is silly, and I think like you said, it was originated for farmers for whatever reason, but in my opinion, it's just a number on a clock. If the sun's up, you can get up and do your shit. What's it matter? You go to bed earlier. If that's your profession, that's what you've agreed upon. Then the government dictating the time
again. If it was
nothing.
A time before we had what was it? A time before flashlights that you know what I mean? Who cares?
Yeah, lanterns.
Mm-hmm.
So
I don't know. It's
Either way, I hate the time change, but this is the better of the two. If we have to change time, at least this one's a little better. So woke up, did the leaves, this and that. But what I wanted to say is, I followed the recipe for udon dashi, soup stock from Mother Tongue. I highly, highly, highly recommend it. It was, and I made homemade udon noodles from scratch. Mm-hmm. Timbo, incredibly easy, bro. Not hard at all.
I've watched him. People make them and then with the traditional tools and the non-traditional tools and all this stuff. It certainly doesn't seem hard, but it's like pasta. You know what I mean? It's just doing it 30,000 times until you've got it down.
There's a million things I would do differently, but they came out edible and good. I like working with dough, and there was no machines involved, which I like too, because I'd rather just do it with my hands and then figure that out. But made the soup stock. It was really good. And made these noodles. Things I would change: I cut them a little too thick. You want them roughly the same width as they are height, so they're just more uniform. These came out a little bit closer to a fettuccine. You know what I mean? But they were homemade and still really springy and good. So I'm really, really, really fucking stoked on that. So I'll send you and Abby my little 1-2s. Then other than that, bro, that's about it. It was I was happy to be home yesterday.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I definitely feel the same. I've been craving just to be at home and have. Honestly, it's not even that. I don't care about that. I want a routine. I just want every day to have the same rhythm, so I can get used to something. Yeah. Because I feel like I'm always either prepping for the next thing or whatever. So I just want to kind of do the same things a bunch.
Yeah, and then we're back in work today. I thought last week was the week to get on top of it, and this week is the week to get on top of it. In the next couple days, I am going to be on top of it. That's my goal. And if that means,
just keep ordering a bunch of stuff so we're never on top of it. That's what I want.
Yeah, no, honestly, the orders are not even. It's everything else.
Yeah,
we'll get the orders out. We love the support. So please keep it up. But I got imports I got to do. I got emails I got to send. I got graphics I got to make for Black Friday, et cetera, et cetera. So that is all floating around in the ether of my brain, and I'm excited to knock some of those off the list at least, just to free up some space. But
yeah. Well, let's talk about something that I just don't think that we can unfortunately avoid. And to be fair, we kind of started this conversation, but we'll jump in on it since it's got a bigger platform. And that is, and I can't believe we're bringing this up again, but our boy Noah Johnson is on a fucking tear with these articles. It's like he might be in the Discord and he's just what
doing
would
bits.
Rile these sons of bitches up? You know what I mean? And he does it. I mean, you got to give it.
I saw that everybody was already riled up about it earlier.
Yeah. Well, this one, did you read the article?
I don't read articles.
Oh my God. don't say these things. Just keep them to yourself. Just say no.
That is the truth, though.
I understand. Maybe sometimes you cover up a little bit more. Just say, no, man, I didn't get to that one.
Yeah. No, no,
Plus,
Timothy,
I think that will be better
for
for your brain, that you don't need to say no to, like, it's not like, I now will never read an article again because I made a weird rule that I don't read articles.
No, I'll read an article, but bro, it's got to be about something that really does it for me. Somebody
that listens to the pod a lot, I want you to make a list of everything Chase says he's psyched on, because that's what people remember. But I also want you to make a simultaneous list of everything he says he can't do. Because I would say at this point, that list is 6 times as long as the things that you can and will and like to do.
One time you had said, like, well, why don't you just mix the sauces? And I said, I don't mix sauces. And I stand by that. I will not mix sauces, regardless of articles.
Do you think that there's people that listen and go, damn, fuck, he is so cool. This is so amazing.
For the record, I don't think that at all. I just think we do this, and that's just what happens. And I'm just sharing who I am.
Okay.
So, but anyway, no, I didn't read the article, but I understand the gist of it, because little anecdotes that were dropped in Discord. I understand that he is arguing to buy from only one brand.
Let's say this much. From my gathering is the titles are always obviously a lot harder than the much softer landing that he creates for what he's saying. For the most part, though, it's not necessarily like pro or anti. It's more just like the discussion of mono branding. Mm-hmm, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And only buying one brand.
Let me start out by saying this.
As a man who flirts with this once a week,
I was going to say, I get it. Mm-hmm. And without reading the article and just know, again, from the anecdotes that people have quoted and whatnot, I'm on board for it for the most part. I'm not. I like the idea of, I say all the time, if money were no object, I would just wear Visvim, or I would just wear Coddle, or what have you, because I like that.
You wouldn't, though.
I wouldn't, but I would for a second.
If money weren't...
You know what I'm saying?
That's not anything. That's not a thing. It's like you have this fantasy of like you'd have 4 or 5 items from Visvim, and then you'd wear all of them at the same time, but then the next day not do that. It's like that's just what a lot of people do.
I think I do this not so singularly. I think I do wear primarily 4 brands. You know what I mean? And I like that because I know how they fit me. I know they're going to work with each other, and I'm not much of an experimental dresser as it is. I have the things I like, and I like to wear them, and I wear them a lot. So I get the sentiment of, and I hate that this term is a thing of like decision exhaustion, a bunch of decision fatigue, a bunch of people who work in god awful San Francisco and can't decide on what they wear to their work is.
That's just another place you won't go, right?
I've been. It's busted.
Won't go back.
No.
There we go. There's the king. There it is.
I would go back. I would go back, but dude, like, I didn't like it.
How long were you there for?
About like.
There we go.
There
we go.
Like 18 hours or so.
There we go. So you experienced the whole city. That's
no. But while I was there, I will say I did experience a place that I thoroughly really loved, and that's Santa Cruz. I think Santa Cruz is one of my favorite places I've ever experienced.
You are just one of the weirdest young adults I've ever met. I just want you to know that to me, it's like you'd be like, yeah, I mean, L.A., disgusting. I would never. San Francisco, never. But have you been to Sacramento? Because they have the cleanest Jimmy John's I've ever been to. That was good. Everything that I like was close to my house.
Yeah. I mean, no.
They had a great Ralph's.
San Francisco was fine. Don't get me wrong, dude. But like, it's one of those things where like with how expensive I can't separate how unaffordable and like inaccessible it is with how lackluster I felt about it. Do you know what I'm saying? It'd be one thing to go Tokyo. It's like, okay, I get this whole thing, and societally everybody participates, so it's a beautiful, nice, safe, clean, wonderful, well-working place. I get it. But when you show up in San Francisco, it's like, I don't know, man. I woke up and it kind of smells like pee outside everywhere. And also, you can't afford to live here. And so those two things coupled don't make sense to me. And I can't separate one from the other. Is it beautiful? Absolutely. San Francisco is absolutely gorgeous. It is as picturesque as you've seen in like I saw in skate videos. And I like that it's near the ocean. And all of that is true. But I can't imagine,
But this is I feel like your problem, and we'll get back to Noah Johnson.
Yeah,
he's coming back.
Yeah.
This is sort of like when people get upset that the product that we sell sometimes, I guess, even exists is their problem, where it's like, it just is not for you, and that's okay. Like, I can't afford everything that we carry.
Yeah.
I can't afford a Ferrari. It doesn't mean it's not a beautiful car. You know what I mean? Or I might not even really my taste, but I can appreciate how beautiful of an object is and how its form and function combine and yada yada yada. I'm all for that kind of stuff. Same thing with like, I can understand the prettiness of San Francisco, and I think they've got this really interesting and rich, like, diverse culture, and it's has it aged well? Maybe not great, but many things haven't. I mean, New York used to be a lot more fun than I find it now.
Sure.
But but it's not for me. You know what I mean? I don't really want to live by the ocean personally.
I accept that.
And I don't really, it's the way it's compressed is not necessarily my type of city, but I still think it's cool. And that's all it is. And I just don't care. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I go there, I'll find the stuff I like, but I'm only ever going to go to the stuff I like ever. So if they've got nice coffee shops and a couple small stores and then I can go home, that's really all I want.
Yes, sir.
So,
I've been saying, I could be fine anywhere, more or less, if it's within 30 minutes to a Whole Foods and you got a nice sizable yard. That's about that. Those are really my stipulations.
I don't need a yard because I don't care about that, as you know, but I do like the idea. I don't ever want to be maybe more than like, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes. And now I've lived in Boulder, I don't think I could ever even go back to having to drive 15 minutes to the grocery store.
Where we're from, bro, I remember it's a hike to get to Walmart.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Everything here is 5 minutes away. Nothing takes me more.
Everything is close.
I can confidently tell me if somebody said, you need to be here in 10 minutes, I'm like, I can.
No problem.
I can go to the bathroom and brush my teeth before I leave.
Yeah,
we'll be good. I'm fine. Yeah. No matter where they are in town.
Yeah, but anyway, back to San Francisco. I understand it's not for me. Yeah. And I'm totally fine with that. I don't want it, for the record.
You don't have to, but here's the other thing. You don't have to live there. No one's asking you to live there.
Yeah.
It doesn't want you to live there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Clearly.
It's too much.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with New York. People, I can understand being like, it's not a place I want to live. But it's like, well, no one asked you to live there.
Somebody,
you know what I'm saying?
It was either like a meme or an article or something calling, Brooklyn is Cleveland with Tokyo prices, and that kind of is how I felt when I experienced New York too.
Listen, here's the thing about New York, San Francisco, LA, any of these major cities, and I like them because of the access to the things I actually care about. They're going to have a specialty grocery store that's phenomenal. They're going to have a specialty butcher shop. They're going to have a specialty bookstore. All this stuff, coffee is going to be 10 times better. You know what I mean? There's
public transit that works, if nothing else, or at least it exists. Yeah.
The bands I like are going to come there. The movies I want to see are there. You know what I mean? Like, they're going to premiere there. They're going to get special access to things I want access to.
Yeah.
But do I want to live in that environment all the time and pay the prices to be around that stuff? Ish. I mean, I'm doing that in Boulder to be clear, but that's for a different amenity. You know what I mean? It's a different
access
amenity
to work too.
Well, access to work, access to nature compared to what someone in New York or LA would have to a certain degree, and it's access to really quality public schooling and things like this. It's just a different set of things that you'd be looking for. So it's not. It doesn't really. I don't care. I don't consider if I'm going to live there or not.
No, and
I
also
don't care where I live. I've also noticed I've moved a lot, and you just find your thing wherever you go. I mean, you might be like, when I moved here, dude, I was not fucking stoked for probably 2 years, if I'm being transparent. Like,
I remember,
I was like, it's fine. I won't live here forever. Probably. We'll see. We'll see how the business does. We'll see how things go. We weren't sure what this was to begin with, and then it started to make sense. The business made more sense. We were having more fun. We were understanding things. We have a kid. Your things you want kind of change because of things like that.
Well, it's a great place for
you get older.
Yeah.
Things change for what you're looking for, desire, I've had a ton of my opinions challenged and, throughout even the past couple of years, so like, I just kind of take it as it comes, baby. I don't know what, I don't care.
I'm with you.
I like that I have a job that allows me to live where I live, and then I can go to all these other places. I have an excuse to go to them for work. So,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. Cool. And also, let me say,
pop out is the way to go.
not to alienate any of our Bay Area customers. Listen, the Bay is beautiful. Part of it is me.
This man just said Longmont's the best city.
Longmont, in this area, besides Boulder.
Dog shit.
Besides Boulder.
Maybe. No.
Arvada's nice. You get all that shit that you like out there.
Maybe.
But part of it also, if I can be earnest, is that I don't like feeling like I don't even have the opportunity, so I will poo-poo it for that alone.
There we go.
I recognize that,
that's all
and
I
I'm
ever
going
want
to
you
own
to just
it.
admit your little snafus with things.
Yeah, that's
because I get that. That's fine. You know
but
what I mean?
for instance, like I've never been to LA, but I think LA would resonate with me. Mm-hmm. I think.
But I could take you to a specific part, and we don't leave that specific part, and you probably wouldn't like it.
Yeah, sure.
Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing where it's like if you haven't had enough time to explore or to get to know things and know where the people are that you'd probably most like to be around or hang out with, or you would cater more to like the style of things you like or whatever it is. Then you're not going to like it, you know. So if you don't do those things, or you know where those are, or spend enough time in a city or with people, you know, because I've been to like different cities with like certain people, and you're like, this, I don't love this, and I've gone back and then been with like different set of friends, just like, oh man, I completely have my mind changed about this.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I got you.
So it's just like it's also the experiences you have. You know what I mean? Like it could be.
Absolutely.
I've been in New York. I've had a lot of bad times in New York, and I've had a lot of really great times in New York. So you know what I mean? It just depends on what's going on.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. Living in places is also very different because it's like I said, it's like sometimes you start in one thing and it just takes you a while to figure out what your thing is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or what you love about it.
Like, for instance, I liked Madison a lot, dude. I could see myself living 15 minutes from where we stayed in the hotel and thoroughly enjoying it. Again, within driving distance of a Whole Foods, it is not terribly far.
But you have vacation brain, bro. That's just you go to a place and you went during a very perfect time.
Well, no. I don't want to live in Tokyo.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't want to live in Tokyo. If you said, hey, we're going to open up a store in Tokyo, I'd be like, I'll go because I love the business and I could find the pluses. But I go there and I know it's not. I like that it's for a vacation. I would never want to live in Tokyo. Maybe Kyoto. But so I can separate living and experiencing vacation-wise. Madison, though, I like it. It feels a lot like Ohio. Yeah. And it feels familiar in that you can drive your car places and fucking park your car. Obviously, we had a little bit of a to-do, but we were right by the Capitol. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, point being is we were looking at houses, or not houses, but like what cities are the most affordable and where are people happiest? And Madison ranks pretty nicely. But you know what they're saying is, you know, Pittsburgh is like the highest ranked place to live for both affordability and happiness scale. And I think that's crazy because I've been to Pittsburgh. Mm-hmm. And Boise, Idaho is up there. Kansas City may have actually been on there as well. Anyway, point being
my thing is also like, I'm not saying that you should tie your happiness to work, or like maybe I'm just more affected by that than others, but I don't want to go work at some dumb job.
No.
Because that's like what, you know, like, no offense to smaller cities, but like, it's just a different set of like professions out there. You know what I mean? And like, I'm not going to run canoe club in those places. You know what I mean? Because I don't think you could also to a certain extent.
Well, no,
you know
canoe club couldn't exist in fucking Buffalo.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean?
So it's like this, you have to adjust also like that's what I value daily life. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot. Because I think
agree.
It's just the majority of the time that you actually spend is whether you like it or not at work. And maybe that means you're working at home. You know what I mean? Or maybe that means you have an office job, or maybe it means, you know, whatever it is to you. You know what I'm saying? But like you are spending a ton of time doing that. So either it's a means to an end, but like unless you're making buku fucking money, like what do you mean a means to an end? So you're going to retire at 40 in your best case, in a crazy scenario, unlikely, but a crazy scenario. So it's like, just, you know, I want to like what I do first and like what my daily life would look like in any given place, more so than like, do I like the amenities?
For the record,
like
what
that.
we
You know
do in our daily life fucking rules.
Yeah,
it's
for me personally. I'm not saying it's for everyone. But
for me too. It's like I'm stoked to leave Tokyo to come home and do my regular life. I'm thankful we get to go, but when it's time to go home, I'm eager to get back to what I do daily. I'm happy and I like it. I like what we do here. I like our crew. I like my buddies I see outside of here, which also I see here often. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, there's something to be said about like, I wouldn't trade any of that. You know what I mean?
Well, I guess maybe that's what I'm kind of ultimately getting at. Like, I think that you'd find yourself, had you had that experience like I did when I was younger, in like a city where you so quickly find your people and there's so many of them and you can kind of keep building your community, and whether you like hang out every day or you don't, it's just nice knowing that your people are there, people who get what you're about and what you like and have similar values to you and things like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is a very nice thing to have. And a lot of those connections are often made through work, quite frankly, at least when you work, at least like Abby and I did, in something that we cared about outside of just the transaction outside of it. But yeah, I mean, it's like it's nice to have all those things, and to like, you know, to help define your taste over time. It helps to be in like a different location.
Well, hey, I would argue that anybody, this is touching on what you're saying more or less, but I would argue anybody needs to live not where they grew up. So
yeah, I mean, I think that's
part of that. Part of that comes with moving to a city, but also, I mean, I don't know, if you're going to move from small town on the East Coast to small town on the West Coast, you're still going to learn something, and you're still going to have a good experience, whether it's good in the moment or you learn from it and you know what you want or don't want from life. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, that for me, that was here.
I think that it's also tough because it doesn't matter anyway, because whatever I think you're like, for example, a person who definitely wants to have all decisions made and figured out today. Yeah. And the reality is, like, it doesn't. I
learn that every day that's just not how it goes.
Every like couple years, everything I thought changes. Do you know what I mean? So I just am more and more okay. Like, I don't have an answer. I don't know I know what I like today, but I will not hold on to that at all, because I know it's going to change. You know what I mean? And what I care about and value. You know what I mean? Like, maybe not your core values, obviously. You know what I mean? Like what I feel about family, or, you know, whatever those things are. But but certainly like about like my personal preferences, I don't think I know what they are yet. I don't think you know until you're much older, and it doesn't matter. So, who cares? I am open to all things that are different.
Yeah, I agree with you. Generally,
you know what I mean? Yeah, but I don't know how that affects my decision making. I think it doesn't. You just make the best decision for what it is.
You do what you think is right in the moment.
Yeah. And I just think that, like I said, I think especially having a kid for me really opened up that, like, you don't have it figured out, because it felt like there was so much that changed when I had a kid. You know what I mean? And like the way I think about things, and that I would have told you with certainty that I wouldn't have. I have felt a certain way and it wouldn't change. Yeah. And then something happens and it changes. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I think that like life will do that to you in a million different ways, whether it's having a kid, whether it's losing someone, whether it's having to change where you live, you know, getting a different job, whatever it is, that all those things can change your entire outlook on a place. I mean, if I suddenly tomorrow, new club closes, I have to get some job that I don't understand, you know, it's just a regular, I don't know how to move up. I don't know how I'm actually affecting the business. I'm very used to that kind of thing. I have to answer to someone specific all the time. That would be suddenly really a big change for me. You know what I mean? A big change in my life. There's no flexibility. I'm not friends with people at work, these kinds of things. That would completely change my outlook on this place. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Where I live, I'd be like, oh, I don't know if I like this anymore. And it probably has nothing to do with the place. It has to do with like, and I think that's what's hard, is like, you don't know sometimes like maybe like where your unhappiness is coming from until you've made the wrong decision. But I mean, that's also
fair.
Fine.
That's fair. Yeah.
I don't know. Okay. I don't know how we got down this road. Well, I know, but I don't know at the same time. Yeah. Back to the mono branding thing, which I think is the same. I feel like the reason the same fight I have is with this concept is the same fight I would have with you over mono decisions. You know what I mean? It's like I get and like it. I think everyone's had that moment of like, you get a new brand, like you get a new piece and you're like, I need to own everything in this. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it fits me perfect. I'm hyped on it. I mean,
for the record, you've been like, fuck, I'm going to buy all Orally now, or I'm going to buy all Harrell. And you think if you can just make that one decision, it's all figured out. It's
you can no longer make
You don't got to fuck around. Yeah.
But like we've said 100 times, like you can decide that, and that's fine. Yeah. And do that for a little bit. And I think that you can just be open to the change, because you will change. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like like all the time, I'll see one image of somebody and be like, I want to change how I dress entirely. You know what I mean?
Let's come back to this because I had that experience this morning, and it wasn't necessarily to change how I dress. It was almost more of an affirmation. I was leaving Longmont, and there was a fella, maybe homeless, you know what I mean, but pass him. He's on my left, and he's wearing. Let me paint you a picture. Taller fella. He's wearing brown boots, a pair of heavily faded, regular fitting, probably 501 looking jeans. A hoodie underneath, like a dark green, not long but chore coat length, like Barbour type jacket. A beanie with the hood over the beanie, a white beard, and a cigarette hanging out his mouth, and then like a leather, weekender bag over his shoulder, right? And I was just like,
did like a hipster fall through some sort of fucking like
wormhole? He looked so
getting
fucking
aged fast?
cool. And it was not,
like
he
Santa
wasn't
went to
doing
Brooklyn.
a bit. You know what I'm saying? This is just what he wears. And he looks so cool. And it was like, all right, that's how I want to dress. I already basically dressed this way, more or less. It was just like, I saw him and I was like, that vibe is the coolest vibe. It had a similar vibe to like a Capital lookbook, bro. And I'm not even sure if what I'm saying is like, if I'm allowed to say like this homeless guy looked cool in how he was dressed. But I thought he looked really cool. The cigarette hanging out the mouth too probably attributed a lot of the vibe.
I mean, I think that like whenever it comes down to that, it's a lot of like, well, like the casual nature in which it was approached is what you're looking for. But like, the reality is you've had you've seen the other side of the curtain. It's a little hard I can't throw it all away now. Like I probably dressed cooler when I was in like high school and was paying less attention and just experimenting.
No, I didn't. I dressed like a fucking maniac, but yeah.
Well, but I mean the approach too. You know what I mean? Because I often will see kids. I'm like, the way you threw that together is not what I would do because I would have overthought it and would have had to have certain brands and this looks cooler than my similar outfit that's much more expensive.
It's like when we see some like 15-year-old skate rat kids. And it's like, you just look cool, dude. And it's just because these are the pants that they have that don't have a bunch of, like, that they can still wear because they haven't been thrashed from skating. And there's a authentic nature to it. Anyway, point being, this fella and I was like, that's dope.
There's like an authenticity that's like an immediate response to like, especially casual styling. Because I think it's difficult. It's weirdly difficult when it shouldn't be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And also I think a major part of it too is like, none of it looked new. And that's, I don't want my clothes to look new, So take that for whatever.
I think that it's very, like I'm saying, it's very tempting to want to do this thing. Like I said, you get a new thing, whatever it is, you try it on and you're like, this just hits. It just delivered on everything I wanted to deliver on. And now I want to have that dopamine hit 100 more times.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think it's also, at the same time, it's also probably really intriguing to be like, I like the idea of building a collection from which you can pull from many different seasons. Le Mer is a brand I love. They've designed it so that all seasons should be able to be mixed together. Like it really should never, that should never be a problem for you. And I love that idea. I think that's such a great concept.
Le Mer, engineered garments, Nanamika, all of those brands seasonally. If you got a couple things, it'll all work together indefinitely.
I would argue that, like, I think most brands generally take a somewhat similar approach. Maybe they're a little bit more, they differentiate from season to season, which I think is fine. But I think that other than that, like, you should be able to kind of mix those around. And I like the idea of this, like, ongoing collection of this thing you really care about. I'm all like for it to a certain degree, but I also just feel like it's also so boring because it's just sort of like copy and pasting a lookbook that you already saw and you already did, and where's the you in it at that point? You know what I mean? And maybe if you're a consumer who's like, that's not really why I come to fashion. I just really care about the stories. I want my clothes to be high quality. I want them to last a long time. I want to be able to use them in between. I want to collect things. I just, that's what I care about. I'd be like, yeah, I get that. I mean, I think that's an interesting approach to clothes in general. But I also, where's the personal style come from then to a certain degree? You know what I mean? You're kind of just, I don't know. It's kind of a hard thing to like digest because I could convince myself I think either way.
Yeah.
I've given up on it. I'm not going to do it. I mean, there's no chance. I think at any given point I'm like loosely collecting a few different brands, but I'll bail on them at a certain point too if something. But it's also tricky because my job is to find new brands. You know what I mean? That's like part of my like daily life. You know what I mean? So it's hard to like, cause then I'll see something new and be like, oh, I never even knew that one before. You know what I'm saying? It's a really difficult thing. And then if you travel and you see all these other things and you want to get them cause you're there, and you know, it becomes way too difficult for my brain to do. Yeah. So I like the idea of it. I also like just like letting yourself get excited about something and just being like, that's fine. Like, it's fine to just be really excited about that one thing, and maybe you get another thing, and then maybe you forget about it entirely, and that's okay. You know what I mean? And maybe you come back to it at another time, and all of that's like, all of those things are fine. I did the same thing with like guitar pedals forever. It was always like, you get one thing, you're like, what if they were all the same? Because then they'd be the same size and they do the same things. And then inevitably you're like, this one thing I just kind of made work, even though it wasn't really what I wanted. And I think
you break the rule, and
you break the rule once, and you're like, well, maybe it'll just be eclectic. And then you're like, well, I wish it looked more, you know. I think that like, this is so stupid, but it is like a thing where it's like, just kind of embrace the journey of it all, because none of this matters. It's just clothes, and it's fun to follow, and it's fun to try new things, and it's fun to buy more of the same thing. And you know what I mean? I have 25 of the same t-shirt basically in barely different colors, and that's fine. I found that's what I like right now, and it'll also be okay if one day I go, I don't like the way this fits anymore, and I got to redo it all. That's fun. Now you get to do the research, you know. I say like the most fun part of anything is the research of it. I got you. It's the obsessing. So if you're not going to obsess, I mean, I don't know. But I guess if I've also had customers throughout the years who do truly only buy one brand and like only stick to that. And I also get jealous of it because I'm like, damn, they've got like a wardrobe from the past 10 years just collecting this one thing, you know, and it looks cohesive and it feels like you've invested in something over time, you know. But I don't know. Where are you landing on that?
I think it's, I appreciate what it is. I can appreciate, like you said, to have the collection. What I've landed on is my interests do change, and sometimes I'm just ready for something new. Now there are things that I will have forever. There's things that I've had from buying them at Canoe Club, and I will have them forever. You know what I mean? From the first couple of years. But my interests change. And I like to, as much as I say I'm not an experimental guy, I like to experiment. I have a couple North Face Purple Label pants. Probably going to pass on them right now. I haven't worn them since I hardly wear them, more or less. But I'm happy to have gotten them and tried them. But I realize that's just not how I want to dress.
But I think that's just the approach of personal style versus collecting. And I think that's really the two different things. You know what I mean?
I don't like to have clothes in my closet I'm not actively wearing.
Yeah, because I think that, I don't think you'd put it this way, but the reality is you're interested in personal style, and your personal style evolving and changing and having your own opinion on that thing.
And I have this thing where it's part of my obsessive tendencies where, for instance, this morning I came to the realization I have a navy blue ripstop engineered garments BDU, right? It was part of it. I sold something to a fella on Style Forum years ago, and he's like, well, he sent me something in exchange, and he's like, I had this, so I just threw it in, and it probably fit you. Just one of those things you come up on, didn't intend to have it. One of my favorite pieces, and it's just not quite roomy enough for me for my own personal taste, and so I don't reach for it, and it makes me anxious every time I see it because it's sitting there not being worn, and it's just my thing going on in the background. Do you know what I mean? And I'll be like, well, I can't sell the piece. I love the piece, but I'm not wearing it because it doesn't fit me the way I want. So I need to reckon with that in some way. So what I'm going to do is sell it and just buy it in a size up. You know what I mean? That's, I don't remember where the thought was going. But I don't like to have too much shit in the closet that I'm not wearing. But I just don't want to. I only want things that I like to wear and that I want to wear. And when there's too many things in the closet that feel like an albatross or feel like, well, maybe it'll fit me the way I want, it's just not gonna, and that's fine. So I'm just gonna pass it on. I'll move it cheap to somebody, and then I'll put that money towards something else that I really like, and we'll get a lot of wear out of. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I don't. I mean, the argument should really just be left up to whoever's.
You should do whatever makes you happy. Like, truthfully, that's the only thing that you should consider. It
feels
like
a cop out of an answer. I guess if you were to say, are you pro mono branding or anti? I'd probably say, if I had to choose, I'd probably say anti. Just because I think the reason I got into clothes is caring about personal style and like, you know, like you're saying to a certain degree, like seeing someone in the way they wear something makes me change my mind about what I want my personal style to be or what I want to do or experiment with or whatever it is. And that's kind of the exciting part to me. Whereas like the brand on its own isn't always the most exciting thing. It's like, how do you mix it? How do you, that's what's exciting about working in in buying in a multi-brand retail store like this is it's like you get to experiment with different things and how they go together and, stuff like that. So for me, that's, I guess, where I would land, but I also don't care.
Like for instance, and there's things that I can appreciate from afar. Like I love Yoji. I love seeing Yoji fits. I don't think in a million years it would look on me how it looks on people that I think it looks cool on. You know what I'm saying?
Chase, what if I told you when you were wearing all raw denim and boots that at some point you're going to wear extensively parachute pants and low top sneakers and big hoodies and stuff, like these oversized fits and shit like that. You'd probably be like, no way. Especially the oversized thing, dude. Because I think people forget no one was wearing anything.
No, back in the day when I first moved here, I was wearing handmade leather boots. I was wearing slimmer than not raw denim with a fucking tight ass white t-shirt tucked in. And bro, that makes me sick to even think about how it felt on my body.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know that, you might give me 20 years and suddenly I'm a Yoji guy. I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know what my thing's going to be by then. I don't know what, because it's like, I think it's like you're constantly reflecting an image of yourself that you want people to see. Do you know what I mean? Whether it's like wealthier or more sophisticated or more relaxed or, whatever it is, you're trying to like show someone that this is who I am to a certain degree or what I resonate with or, like it's reflective of my interests or my activities or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's those two things don't like necessarily always align, with mono branding. Maybe it does at the same time. Maybe you're like, I am a gardener and that's my whole personality and I don't have any other things that I'm really that super interested in. I wear sassafras because it's a gardening brand and I really collect that.
That's it. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, cool. I mean, I think that's a really cool, can be cool way to approach things. It's just, then what you're leading with is not personal style. Is the difference. You're not leading with personal style. You're leading with your personal interests and your personal values as they pertain to clothes. Like, No Johnson talks about, shocker, Evan Kenori, because I don't know what kind of big pocket money they've got in with NJ, but they are working his ass.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, I get it. That is a brand that has a culty-like thing. I think it is just specific enough to make, I'll just come on here and let's talk it out if I'm wrong. But I think that it's a brand that like, it's niche, it's culty. It's a little bit if you know, or at least that's definitely the way it started. They are, quite frankly, pretty pretentious about the way that they approach things. It's not that I hate that because
I think he would even say that.
I am very pretentious as the way I approach things. So I get it. I'm not saying that as talking down at all. I think that actually that in many ways that's just a negative word to use towards something that's very specific for a very specific audience.
I think people who don't like something because it's too expensive or they don't understand it uses pretentious as a catch-all.
Yeah,
and I think being pretentious in this case can be good because that's part of why people are attracted to the brand. It's like a virtue or wealth signaling.
It's tough for me because I guess at the end of the day, to agree, it's like mono branding feels it's very safe. It's it's not my personal style. It's this brand's. They did this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And because it's an easy cop out to a certain degree. You know what I mean? To like, or I guess you could also argue that I only do this because this is the brand I love and care about the most. And then I wear different shoes. And then that's like, this is the shoes I combine with it that isn't necessarily what they would show in the lookbook or whatever. And that's my little way of putting my flair in there. Maybe it's something like that. I don't know. It still doesn't exactly resonate with me exactly, but I could get it. I just think that like, but Kenori's safe. I mean, for a guy that works in fashion, it's if you'll know brand. It's very specific. It's got a very specific silhouette that if it works on you, that's going to be great for you. And it's expensive.
It looks good all together.
It's like numbered. It's got everything you want fashion brand to have. You know what I mean? So I can get it. I get that it's a pretty easy choice for that kind of thing. Like, you're not going to go wrong.
No, I love this shit. I think it's dope. I think that when you wear it all together, it's cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It works for my brain and how I would approach clothes. Like, I get it. I fully understand.
Listen, it's fun because obviously No Johnson's writing these articles because they get a rise out of people. There's no other reason to go about these topics specifically on this like line of this like kind of trajectory that he's been on of what he's writing about, which I think is interesting. And I think that he also is a person who is obviously friends with Kenori, or they're cutting a massive check, but in one way or the other, they are friendly in some sort of way.
Yeah.
And I can sit here and tell you, I don't have any there's no difference between what he's doing in that situation and what we do. I know and respect and am friends with several of these designers. You know, maybe not every single one, but many of them. And it is a different thing when you meet people and you're like, I like them so much as a person, and I want to look like them and act like them because they're so cool. I mean, that's what they're paid to do. That's what they just share their opinion because it is elite or interesting or, you know, unique or, you know, whatever it is. So I think that like, I get it. If you're like also homies with the person, it's like, fuck man. And now it's like, now I want to be a part of that world even more.
Yeah.
And I think that there's plenty of brands like Kenori, like many others, Capital being a good example too, where they've created this world that people want to live in so badly that if you just get all of it, you're part of it. You're part of something bigger than yourself. And I fully get that, which is why like more earnestly with this business, we wanted to have things like the Discord and Patreon and all the community shit that we do, because we wanted it to feel that same way with a multi-brand retailer that you can feel with a brand, like the same kind of kinship, the openness and availability of us, and what we share and the community we create and the openness of it is that you can somehow connect with something bigger and broader than just buying a shirt, you know, which I think that same thing with like a brand like Kenori, you buy a shirt and now you feel like you're part of this club that, you know, and I get that. And I think that kind of branding and that sort of like view that you create of yourselves is difficult to do, and it takes a long time. And if you do it well, you have lifetime customers, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I really respect what they do and the idea of the Mono brand. But at the same time, like nothing's cooler than you see like some person who's put together those jeans with those shoes with that thing, and I would have never put any of those things together. And our video guy here puts together clothes like I see very few people here that mix clothes in this way.
Yeah,
and you see me like, God damn, you look fucking cool.
You know who else was really
never
good
do
at it? Ian, our old boy Ian.
Yep,
he'd wear this shit, and I'd be like, damn.
I would have never thought about that for you. I would have never.
Yeah,
you know
like
what I mean?
You remember he bought the LVC jeans that had the spider webs on them. That was his thing. And I was like, okay, yeah, I get it. And he'd wear them. I'd be like,
but then he would buy like a navy J press blazer, and I'd be like, for what? And then he'd put it on with like a Mets hat and a crazy ass fucking like Grateful Dead shirt and jeans with all sorts of shit. And you're like, it's working, man, because it's so clearly you. And that's what I think I care about in clothes, is I want to see who you are, not who somebody else is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think that's a good way to summarize
that's what's
the
inspiring to me, I guess, as a, you know what I mean? But at the same time, you know, I get it, because every time I walk into a place and I put on something that fits me well, and I'm like, I could go all the way here. I could
just wear this shit.
Yeah. I never do it though. I get like 4 pieces in and then bail.
Yeah.
So I'm not doing it anymore.
Well,
just kind of, well, I say that. Something will change.
I'm trying to think if we got anything coming that'll change your mind. I mean, it'll happen. So
everything I say will be toppled, a year from now, just like I said earlier. So none of it matters, like we talked about. All right, let's answer some pod questions. Also, Big Noah, you got to come on if you're gonna bait our people.
Yeah, come on, bro.
Forever, come through and let's talk it out. Okay, which one do we want to do here? Because I think we only have time for one. All right, let's just do this one. This one's easy. 3 pieces you're eyeing / buying from all the recent fall/winter 24 deliveries.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of things that have been floating around my head. One of which were the Grizzly boots. I'm still thinking about them. I would like if other people bought them, to be honest with you. We'll sell them
just
to
so
the store.
It gets out of your head? Or?
Yeah. Then they're gone, and then I don't have to worry about it. So that...
It's not happening slowly. So
no, which is good.
Yeah,
we should sell them.
Yeah.
That you know, I'm keen for a pair of black pants. Just I don't know. I'll know when I know. I've been wanting to try on the Orslo regular fits, size up to a 4, and then move the buttons so they sit a little.
Orso regular. Oh, just
black fatigues. Yeah. Just need some black pants, but. I'm also waiting for something else to speak to me. Maybe the Ordinary Fit French work pant. Ordinary Fit's quilted deli coat is floating around in my head, and then another Visvim hoodie is also floating around in my head. I wear this hoodie, which is an unnamed hoodie.
I think you have plenty of hoodies. I think you got to invest in
I only have 3.
What?
I only have 3.
That one, the red Visvum, and the
blue
navy Visvum.
That's it.
That's it?
I have ones that I wear at home, to like sleep in, because I sleep in a
every
sweatsuit
single
now.
day.
Yeah, it's just one of the 3. So I'm ready to add a 4th into the mix. But I truthfully only have 3 hoodies.
What about you getting a sweater? Or
that's a good point, Timothy.
Or something. Because if you wear that thing a lot, why not diversify by a notch?
Well, I've been wanting. That's a good point. You're absolutely right. I said when we were in Madison too, I do want to try one of those Howland sweaters. We got the new ones, the little boxier.
Ones. Yeah, I haven't tried one.
And so I'd like to know now. The thing is a sweater. It needs to be. I like how that one fits you that you got on, and I like the other one you had on that was nice and baggy. Boxy and baggy.
Double XL vintage, baby.
Yeah, that's realistically what I need to do. Again, I got into eBay for a second to look for bowling balls, and I just need to start looking into clothing. But once I start doing that, man, then it's going to be a lot. So, but 2X sweaters would be a nice thing. So maybe one of the Howland sweaters. That's about it. What about you?
Let's see. Well, I need nothing. What do I want, though?
Yeah.
I need to put them back on because they came back. The Lemaire sneakers are still bugging me.
Yeah. That was a declaration you made earlier this year that you were going to get them.
Yeah, and then I thought, maybe they're too technical for me. You know what I mean? For the most part, I just wear canvas sneakers of some kind.
What do you got on to the Vans? Yeah.
I wear the Vans. I wear the Converse. I got those Cortege boots from Our Legacy that I
look what else I got too. Just real quick.
Are they rubber?
No, these are like a suede, and so I've just been wearing them. They're getting beat up, looking how I like them to look. But for some reason, these are really hitting for me. So I might get another pair of these just to add to that. But anyway,
don't take it wrong. They're kind of giving chef shoe, but not in a bad way. Like,
I'll take it. It's all good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes you see a chef and they look awfully cool.
Yeah, 100%.
But
I think it's just because it's all white. You don't normally see all white. I guess I thought they were rubber until you said they weren't. And that does change it a little bit.
Well, when they dirty up too, you'll notice.
Yeah.
I was just thinking I like to wear my white catch balls, but I've really whooped on those already.
Yeah, canvas shoes just have a shelf life to me.
And I think they've already reached more or less that. So I thought, why not try a white Birkenstock? Snag these up, really like them. You got those Cortege boots from Our Legacy. Those are awesome. I think they work. It's you in a boot, to be honest. Like I think they're awesome.
It was one of those things. I just walked past it. I liked the boot when we rode it. You know what I mean? But that was forever ago, and I didn't really think much of it. And I didn't think I needed a boot because I was sort of like, I just had 2 pairs of boots in a row that I spent a lot of money on, and I was just like, they're just not fitting me right, or like. And I think the problem was they were like both unique, and I didn't want unique. I just wanted straight down the middle boots. And these were ones that I passed, and it was almost like, oh, this is kind of exactly that. Like they're 10% weird.
Yeah,
you know
like
what I mean?
A slight Cuban heel, pretty roomy toe, but not terribly so.
Well,
like a normal boot,
side,
but
they
a
look
little
totally
bit
normal.
Yeah.
I really liked them. They didn't fit. Like sometimes boots also, because I wear like a 10.5 or 11, but I'm not like super tall, so I get self-conscious that like shoes look big on me, and I don't want to look like I'm wearing my dad's shoes.
Sure, I got you.
So these have a really nice silhouette to them, or it doesn't get into my weird in my head.
Doesn't break the rules that you've set.
Yeah, and it's like, so I've loved them. They broke in great. They're awesome.
Hey, you also got that Orslo relaxed tweed blazer. Is it tweed wool? It's fucking sick, dude.
It's a great jacket.
Really love that.
So I don't know. I kind of filled some gaps that I wanted to. They were not super thrilling gaps, but I've already like worn all of the things a lot. I do think I want a new, for the winter, like a new shell of some kind, just because like I have one that I do like it and wear it a lot.
A Uline special.
But I want something nicer.
Yeah.
It's like, it's a Helly Hansen that I got for free from Uline.
Yeah.
And I adjusted the sleeve because it was too big on me, but like I adjusted the sleeve so it now just fits boxy. And it's kind of perfect, but I want something like a little nicer.
Is it a shell or does it have insulation?
I think it has a little insulation, not like a boatload, but a little. It would be nice if it had a little bit more, to be honest with you, because I only really wear it in the winter.
Yeah.
Or I'll wear it to the gym sometimes, things like that. But I want something like a little nicer because I do wear that piece more than I would have thought I would, Yeah. And the other thing I think I might just buy today is I tried it on the other day. I hadn't tried on in person. I don't think I tried it on at all. I liked it, so we bought it, but I'd never tried it on. Was the Camille Fortgen's sweatshirt.
You tried it on the other day,
aged
though.
black one, yeah.
Yeah, it's sick as shit.
I really like that. So
I love
think
it
I'm
in
gonna buy
black.
that. I might walk out and buy that today.
You should get that. That looked dope.
So because I've been kind of in my head that I wanted a zip sweatshirt.
Yeah.
So I don't have any hoodies or anything like that. A couple crew necks, but I don't have any hoodies.
Well, hey, we got hoodies coming, big dog.
But I feel weird about wearing my own.
I
merch.
don't.
I know. I just feel slightly strange about it because then everyone, someone would be like, "Canoe Club's cool." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, hi, I'm one of the owners," and they'd be like, "Oh, that's weird."
Yeah.
Maybe that's not. Maybe that's a me thing. But
what colors we have coming in those, real quick, if you remember off the top?
The hoodies.
Yeah.
The off black.
Just off
really
black.
Good, yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. I'm basically doing it because I
that.
feel a little weird about that. So I want that.
I got you. Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's pretty fucking close. So.
And that one's kind of like Camille Fortune's is like, I love the subtle weirdness of it.
Sick,
yeah. The only thing I'd say about these ones is the ones that are coming might even be a better fit between the two because I really like them.
I can't stress enough, and we'll talk about the merch when it comes in, but I can't stress enough like how dope it fits and how excited we are for the product, not just because our logo's on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's great product as well as it's nice to have the merch back because people have asked forever.
Yeah,
and I'll probably still get one. Realistically, yeah. The other thing I've gotten addicted to is we have a sweat short coming.
Yeah, man.
That'll have the Canoe Club
on
it.
Oh hell yeah, the Mosh special.
And I have the sample of it, and at first I was kind of just sitting in my closet and I hadn't really pulled it out, and then I've been wearing it recently. So comfortable, so nice. Yeah, it's just like a heavy jersey. So it's like, it's great. It's great. It's kind of perfect for winter because like I kind of feel like I need them, but I don't love a sweat pant. I like a short all the time. So I think that's the move. And then I get a pair of those room socks from Rototo. And then that's the kit for winter.
Buddy, I said just a second ago, but I sleep in a sweatsuit now. Now that the temperature has gone, I sleep in a sweatsuit.
In my mind, when you go to bed at night, you have a hat on.
I sleep with my hood up a lot of the time.
You're like the Willy Wonka family in bed, man. You know what I'm saying?
It's us two and our cat between us. But yeah, I love to sleep in the old mauve matching top and bottom.
Oh yeah.
Good in there, you know.
Yeah, I could never. I'm not a lot of clothes on in bed.
Yeah.
Just like underwear and a t-shirt.
Yeah.
I can't do it. I feel constrained. I feel like I'm gonna go nuts.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But I am also I am realizing as I get older, I'm not as warm as I used to be.
You sleep a little cooler, huh?
Yeah, I think I run a little cooler.
Oh,
to be
cool.
honest with you. Yeah. I don't get as hot as I used to. There was a time in my life where it was just like boom, sweaty.
Really?
Yeah, I think it was humidity. Now I don't live in it, and that doesn't bother me anymore.
We're in the dryness.
You know, it's a different thing now. Well, what else? Is there anything else? I can't think of anything else that I absolutely need. I need to upgrade my wallet situation, but I got a plan.
Same. I wanted to do that in Japan.
I don't really need to upgrade it. I need to add a piece to it, if that makes sense.
I want your situation. Where is it? Right here?
Yeah, you're gonna see. Well, this, and I can show you exactly what. So, as if any of you are unfamiliar with my wallet scenario that's in this room, because everyone takes things out of it nonstop. So I carry this little pouch, this little Comme des Garçons pouch that I've had forever. The main reason being is because I don't know what everyone's deal, what people. I know we've talked about what do people do with this shit, but this is the worst. The key fob.
I hate it, bro.
I would rather just unlock my door. I would like to remote start, but
buddy, if I could,
let me do it on my phone or something. You know what I mean? I guess maybe I could even do that. I've never looked into it, but
I was just gonna say if I could nix the fob and just go back to coming up and turning the key to unlock the doors, I would.
Then you can't.
But I remote started my shit from the house this morning.
I like that
awesome.
I just click it and it unlocks and stuff. So, but then I keep my regular keys on just a baby guy. You know what I mean? Nothing fancy there. I used to have a cool one that was like a Japanese one with little beads on it that I want to get back, but I don't know where I got it.
Oh,
so
cool.
I have to try to find another one. And then I have this is a thing like the Arc'teryx guys gave me, I think. Right?
Yeah. That's
a little Gore-Tex wallet. I don't usually carry a card case. I used to just keep a hair tie around them and keep them in there. But then I would go to like pay at a restaurant and be like, it was a little. I mean, I know I'm taking it out of a Comme des Garçons wallet, but it feels like I've unbalanced again.
I got you,
so I just need like a little leather, nice, but I want a matching I want this to match the thing.
The inside.
I'll give you this one when I get the other one.
I would,
because I want them to match.
I like
you like it beat up.
I like it beat up.
I do like that it's beat up because I've had this for eons.
Yeah, it's dope.
And I don't put my wallet in a. I mean, if I in a pinch, I'll put this in my back pocket. But I hate wallets in my pocket. Do you put wallets in your pocket? Keys and stuff?
No, actually,
you just carry them loose.
No, I have my keys on a little, like a big hairpin thing. Remember, Paige gave us some of those vintage brass ones. So I do that on my belt loop. But I try not to have shit in my pockets at this point in my life. And because of the way that I am and the way that I dress, I always have a jacket on. So I do wallet and phone in jacket pockets. Mm-hmm. And then when I get somewhere, I take that shit out immediately and put it on the counter. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I just do this. Then I can put, if I want to put a lip balm in there, I can.
Yeah, no, it's dope. It's dope. Yeah.
You need to put the jewel in there, no problem. Not anymore, but for weed.
Yeah.
But you can, the nice thing is this can go in your pocket if you need it.
If you have to, yeah.
But
you
most of the time I just put it on the thing. I just put it wherever I'm at and it's fine.
Yep. Or, you carry totes. That tote's dope. And Mishan found one on Depop, Snow Peak, that exact one, but Snow Peak. And
that's just LL Bean, brother. You can print Snow Peak on it if you want to.
Well, but $35. So I think
that's $30 new.
From Bean?
With the monogram.
There's no pockets on the inside, huh? $30 with the monogram.
Yeah, I think that you can get if you get the zip top one, I think it might have a pocket on the inside. I don't remember.
Because I have my Snow Peak one, and I'm not looking to change, to be honest with you. I like my Snow Peak one, and I've started to bring, I bring my shit home every night now. I used to just leave it all piled up here. But in the event, like tonight, I have some shit that I kind of want to work on or wake up early and try to get some shit done because it's trying to get on top of it. But what's nice about your wallet situation with the zip is it's all contained and you can just toss it in the bag. Whereas with my wallet, I'm worried about shit falling out. You know what I mean? Well,
and for me, to be honest with you, I also will take that home some nights, but I don't always do it. So like my glasses, I have my sunglasses and my regular glasses. Those have a little zipper thing that goes in there. And then really the only thing I can drop everything in there, or I can only take this home and I'm good. Yeah. And I know it's all the things I need are contained in one location.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying?
In the way that we're talking about mono brand, it is nice when your bag can just be all self-contained and it just works. You know what I mean? It's nice to have a system. I think that's what it comes down to, is having a nice system. When do we got more?
Well, they're on the way. We ordered them. I don't know when they land, but we got more of those coming.
You think it's going to be sooner than later, or no?
There's a better brand that'll come next season that has a really great wallet configuration system.
I know. We just wrote it. Yeah, it's fucking dope, dude.
Maybe that's what I need.
Would you wear a neck wallet situation?
Maybe.
We'll see.
To be honest with you, it would be a hell of a lot more convenient than randomly shoving this into my back pocket, because then I could just always put it around my neck if I needed to.
Yeah.
So maybe that's the way to go. If I get my phone attached in there too, I've always said I wanted one of those things, the phone things that go around, so I don't lose my shit all the time.
Yeah, Chase, Chad, are you by chance? Have you seen my phone?
It's because I won't put it in any pocket.
No.
It doesn't even occur to me to put it into a pocket.
Yeah.
Like when I leave the house, I don't put it in my pocket. It's just in my hand until I get to the car, and then I throw it somewhere in there.
Back in the denim days, were you a pocket wallet and back pocket fella?
Yeah, bro. And I had I'm not gonna call it the brand, but I had a big one, because if you got a bigger one, it wouldn't create the lines in the pocket if you wanted to keep everything. These are the dumb things that you think about,
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe we go back. Maybe we need to be these guys again.
I was a back pocket guy, and my back's probably permanently messed up.
You wanted the lines?
I did want pocket fades, yeah.
When guys were putting specific stuff in their pockets so that you would get the fade.
Ridiculous.
That's crazy.
Like
I said, maybe we'll
get their initial fucking little piece of metal in E or something.
I can tell you what the worst one was. The worst possible.
Brass knuckles.
Yeah, that is. That's the worst.
I don't even have anything derogatory to say that I can
It's
say.
too bad. It speaks for itself.
I'm not even going to insult it. Yeah.
Yeah, you can picture the guy. That's crazy. That's a crazy thing. Brass knuckles.
He shows up.
What, are we going to get into a fight in the 1920s? When would that even... What are you going to do with that?
No, he's the guy that would show up to a show drinking a Monster Energy drink. You know what I mean?
And won't come in yet because I got to finish this, honey.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, come on. Man, you got to finish it? What do you mean? You had from the car. Just leave it in the car.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Hey,
that's bad.
You want to do a recommends? Because I got a recommends.
Yeah, I can think of something. I'm sure it's probably streaming music or something. I can think of something.
I went on Spotify earlier, and it had recommended me a tune that I had forgotten about, and I'm kind of in the camp of being stoked on not hip hop right now. And this happened today, kind of.
Well, maybe Young Thug coming back will help.
Well, how did we not even say? Thank God they freed Slime. Because I just love it. I love the idea of him sitting in a jail cell being really good at Candy Crush on an iPad. You know what I mean? And just delegating tasks. Too. But
I like him doing anything except for being cooped up.
Yeah, I love Young Thug. I really do. I love his whole discography. We've talked about it at length. Everybody knows we like our boy. Band Greet Death.
Yeah.
They have a tune called "Do You Feel Nothing?" ? That tune, similarly to when I was going on about "Love on the Outside" by Wishy, which, by the way, is my most recently played song. I can press play right now, and it's going. It does the same thing for me, where it's like cathartically heavy. Do you know what I mean? There's just something about it, and you're like, it just really resonates with me. And so it's "Do You Feel Nothing" by the band Greet Death. I would recommend go pay that a visit. And if you like that, I'm sure Spotify is built up with the devil that is AI so much now that it has 1,200 other options you're going to love. But go listen to that. What do you got?
Yeah, well, why is that not a positive, though? That's like the best thing.
I like it, man. I like it. And here's the thing. I just don't want everything to be computerized, dude. You know,
that's a much better way to phrase it than saying I hate AI. Because here's the thing, like, for example, went on and on about the AI rice cooker, and it's like, dude, all it does is monitor the temperature and precipitation inside and adjusts if it needs to. That's convenient. Sure. That's helpful. And it only does that one thing. It's not like looking at my stuff on my phone. And even if it did, what is it? What that? Good Lord, that's going to be so boring. That's the most boring AI that's ever existed. I agree that there are endless things that are going to be negative about it and continue to be negative about it. But at the same time, it is a technology that's helpful.
It's helpful. Way. And for the record, and I can eat crow here and say, how many times have I celebrated the YouTube algorithm? You know how many? Speaking of Young Thug, you know how many non-Spotify released tunes I know that unreleased Young Thug tunes or Rich Homie or Future or what have you that are only on YouTube and I've found because they know I like this tune and so they can I celebrate it in a lot of ways, but I also yearn for things to just be the way it is. Making the udon noodles, it's like I'm sure there's something out there that'll measure the moisture in the. I don't want that. I'd rather just read a thing that is printed in a book from somebody we had on the pod that I thought was really cool and like smart and interesting, and then I get to look at the book and be like, okay, cool, I'll make it with my hands and it'll be physical and then we'll see how it turns out. You know what I mean?
Look, man, I'm a heavy investor in physical media.
Cassettes.
You know what I mean? And my mom just helped me locate from a friend an old VCR player with a bunch of tapes they were getting rid of and stuff like that. And I was like describing that to my daughter who's never even seen that before, and she was like, psyched when I was like, it's like the cassette player except it'll do videos. You know what I mean? And she was like so into, because there's something about the art of taking your time to go and choose it and to make a selection and it be limited. Do you know what I mean? So you have to work within limitations. And it's nice that way. You don't get paralyzed by decision fatigue.
Yeah.
You can say that that's annoying, and it is. But I also think there is something to it. That it can be annoying to be like, it's either the best thing in the world that I have every song in my pocket that's ever existed, or it's the worst thing. It depends on the day. You know what I mean?
Once a year, I think, fuck, I need to find my hard drive that has all the music I downloaded from Mediafire.zip or .rar files. You know what I mean? And I would say
the endless evidence that I should be in prison somewhere.
Well, you know, I'm not unique.
Everybody
you know what I mean?
I have
arrest
multiples.
Me and everybody else who's fucking 28 to 36. We stole music for most of our childhoods, and
where else
I got
was I
going to
see art house films? It had to come from stealing.
Yeah. But those songs are not on Spotify, and there is something like I was just thinking like the other day, like, you know what? And I might have it. I'll see if it'll charge. Video iPod. How fun would it be to just have music on an iPod again?
Oh, I've debated.
And just pick from the
library.
library.
All the people like that mod them and stuff now.
Well, our video guy, he has an iPhone 4 that is modded. The only way you can
iPhone.
use it is to have it modded, and it's like when they first put the squared edges on. You know what I mean?
But it was the most perfect version of the phone, perfect size.
Yeah. So I'm in regards to AI is.
I just don't think jack on it still at that point.
Yeah, it's dope.
With
it's
the regular one. Oh,
you couldn't even Bluetooth it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, hell yeah.
I just don't want everything to be computerized.
But that's the thing. I both love everything about that. I just bought a very complicated analog synthesizer. I love analog guitar pedals. I love dealing with all that stuff. I love it. The tactile elements of it.
The haptic nature. You feel the click of something. I love that.
There's nothing better. You know what I mean? It's the coolest thing.
Yeah.
But there's also a big argument that we have a nostalgia for those things because we had slight more access to them.
Fair.
So that's like a slight argument, I think, when it comes to that kind of thing. But I also think that like it's just like have an appreciation for both sides of that coin. You know what I mean? There's the fact that I have every song in my pocket, and that's absolutely incredible. That the fact that I'll hear something and go, and I can figure out what it is so quickly, and that's amazing. But then you also think that like I can look up anything online, and that's awesome, and I can just have that knowledge and whenever I need it. And how many times have we used that personally to grow the business or do something together? And then how many times do I miss like just having an argument because it's fun to argue and converse with somebody?
Oh, I
love it. Like that's what the entire reason I like the podcast is because I like bickering and arguing and just trying to figure something out, because I think that you do it so that you learn something about another person and yourself and like your own like motivations around your interests and things like that. And it's just fun. You know what I mean? I like to try to convince people that lies are true sometimes, just because it's fun to have a debate with somebody. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Did you ever take debate in school?
No, I don't even think we had it, to be honest with you.
You know, as I'm thinking, we certainly didn't. I don't think either. But I think it's something that had I been exposed to it earlier in life, it would have been good for me to do it, because I'm with you, and Michelle and I like to have conversations where we disagree, or at least
you're my greatest nemesis in life because of this, because you have very hard opinions, and then I just have to try to convince you out of them.
And you will sometimes. Yeah. And we've seen it happen in real life on the pod.
Yeah, it's just fun.
I love to have my mind changed. I sincerely do. And we've said it a million fucking times. Hard opinions loosely held. I truthfully can have my mind changed on just about whatever. You just got to talk to me about it. Or maybe I won't. And I might dig my heels in, but I'm down to have the conversation. And I think it would have been good for me to argue productively as a youth.
Sure. Yeah, and then not always turn into a blow up. Just like you actually have to talk it through. You know what I mean? And not just
so like in a controlled
call someone
setting,
an idiot and walk away. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
It's just still a good enough argument, I think, sometimes. But,
Sometimes
you know, it's
people
like
are just stupid. But
I think that like having I don't know. I think what you're probably missing is people's like, I don't know the right word. I think that there's a better word that I'm not coming up with. But like, there's this whimsy to enjoying those things. It's kind of like when you've gotten into incense, that's the whole thing for me. It's like caring about the way it smells, going, do I want to do this one or do I want to do this one? What would be the better for this mood?
Having like, the little thing, you put the thing on, and then, you know what I mean?
Forcing yourself to take the temperature of a room for a minute to decide what would be best or what would make you feel best. Or, you know, I think anything that like stops you, like slows you down and makes you contemplate the unimportant, I think is a great analog experience to have in life.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? But I think at the same time, it's also really helpful to have all that other stuff too. You know what I mean? The fact that I'll like think of a random song from when I was a kid, or, you know, in the car that I want to hear, and then put that on within seconds is like the coolest thing. If you would have told me that could happen when I was younger, especially like imagine this, dude. Back in the day, we had to buy all that stuff, and if you couldn't afford,
buddy,
then you just couldn't hear it. You know what I mean? Or you had to have a friend that would burn it for you if you begged them, or then you had to be able to afford the discs or know someone that had a computer that was able to do it.
Yeah.
Now, like kids will pay like, you know, it's like $5 a month or whatever, and you can listen to any song you want to. Like that's the great equalization of things like this of media. I think is great to me.
Yeah, no,
in a lot of ways.
I agree. But there is a nostalgia factor. For instance, I can think of my buddy Jimmy. We'd stay over at his house. His mom won the lottery, bought a house, kind of burned it all within a year, going to the bar and smoking cigs.
I've talked about the guy with the monster truck next to my house, right? Yeah, that had
won the lottery, nothing changed. He bought a monster truck and
parked
didn't
it
drive
outside, keeps it in perfect condition. Nothing else was different. Everyone knew he won the lottery. He bought like a very expensive monster truck that I don't think it ever moved. I never saw it move. I don't even know if it turned on. It could have been a prop.
Bro, hey, something to be said about it. He you know what? He probably was happy with that, all things said and done. You know?
He's probably happy with his life the way it was, and it's like, this now lets me get a monster truck. And I love that monster truck. And that's I don't know.
But
it's nice, dude. He's probably got it way more figured out than a lot of rich people.
100%. He's probably happy. He probably just comes home. He does his thing. He doesn't yearn for much. And he's like,
you guys want to go out there and check out that monster truck?
Yeah, I agree.
Never driven it.
No. But I remember going to my buddy Jimmy's house, and he had all the channels because for that period of time they were wealthy. And we would sleep in his living room with the TV on, Fuse TV, so that when that new Under Oath song came out, we could wake up, watch the music video, and then go back to bed. Because you couldn't just go on the internet and watch it. It wasn't there.
Yeah.
So we would have the music play all night. So if that song came on, we could wake each other up, and the 3 of us, 2 of us, 4 of us, whatever, would watch the fucking music video and then go back to bed. And nobody, I can promise you, no kids are doing that in 2024. No kids are having a sleepover and like gathering around to watch a music video on the TV.
I used to sit in my room on this weird old chair that my grandma gave me next to where the tape player was when the radio, because it went in a place and had to be plugged in.
Yeah.
And you would just sit there, and I would just sit there with headphones on, waiting for a song that I wanted to record on the tape. I'd wait for it to come on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'd just wait. And half the time you'd be like, didn't happen, not tonight. You know what I mean? But it's also where like that's like skimming those stations because I didn't want to hear the song that was on, and then hearing like Art Bell for the first time, and like that opens your mind, and it's like
Coast to Coast.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, just and like listening to like that radio announcer and getting so obsessed with like radio personalities all. Yeah. Like all those things happen because you spent the time and like were really invested in it.
Who's the new guy for Coast to Coast?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I know that there's a new guy.
It's not George Knapp, is it?
I don't know.
No, it's not.
I really don't know.
I in last year, probably around this time last year, I got really into the Art Bell archives, and for some reason, the one that I had followed on Spotify disappeared, so it's no longer there. I'm sure they have more.
That happens a lot.
They get it yanked down. But remember, because I went down the Mel's Hole saga, still remains as one of the. If you are listening to this podcast still an hour 6 hours in,
and you haven't taken our suggestion about Mel's Hole before,
go like the sound of it is warm and crackly and analog sounding, and it has the weird fucking little intermissions, and I can hear the song playing right now, and the saga, and it's literally like taking in an audiobook, dude. So go listen to the Mel's Hole saga. Listen to the Area 51 caller.
I think it's just a matter of anything that speeds us up is great, is the reality. It is. You know what I mean? It's fun. You know what I mean? And it's cool that we get to live in a time where a lot of those things exist. You know what I mean?
It has improved our ways in immeasurable ways. I'm with you for it.
Inevitably, whenever that happens, you lose things at the same time.
Yeah.
And all I'm saying is remember to figure out ways to slow down as often as you try to speed up. And I think then you're fine.
Yeah.
If you appreciate both sides, you're doing just fine.
I know I've said it 100 times, but cooking has done that for me. And I go through waves of cooking or not cooking, and Michelle does a lot of the cooking sometimes, or vice versa. But truthfully, one of the things, because I said I was feeling dumpy, is one of the things is trying to cook more so that I can be more intentional with how I'm consuming food. And there's something nice about having to just be in a physical place to get a thing done.
I told you, like going down to like trying to like, you know, and you know, again, I'll go through big waves of like, you know, having for whatever it does, you have like a strong, like, here's this, you know, thing I want to do with my health or my cooking or working out or whatever it is, and you stick to it for a little while, and it's hard. No one has a life that doesn't get messed up by things, people, travel, whatever it is.
Sometimes you do need convenience. Sometimes DoorDash rules. No, I take it back. DoorDash always rules. It's just sometimes you got to do other things.
Amazon rules. Everything big, like the fact that you can just get a gift whenever you want to, and you can open a little present at home. Like that, there's nothing better. There's nothing that's like a quicker dopamine hit. That's amazing.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, yeah, but like also like going to a store and picking something out, especially if you're traveling, and then taking it home, and you have to travel with it home and be careful with, you know, like these things also make the things more special. Yeah. You know, so it's like just do both of them a little bit, and then you're fine. Yeah. Try to find everything in moderation kind of shit.
Everything in moderation. Yeah. I've said it before on the pod too. It's something you've always talked about. It's really stuck with me. Is your Italian grandpa talking about he would smoke, he would drink, he would eat whatever he wanted, just in moderation. It was little bits, you know, like a small plate of food. And
he didn't work in moderation. He worked my style.
Yeah. Well.
But other than that, like, and I think there's just something like, but it's also like then you appreciate, like, I don't need a lot of things, if that makes sense. And I think that's been my only like purging clothes thing, is it's like it's almost nicer to just have less and appreciate more. You know what I mean? And then just trying to like keep it low so you're forced to appreciate it. So it's just easier to you accumulate. It's like, I don't even know what I fucking got anymore.
Yeah.
And then what's that doing? Now you have no experiences or memories of anything.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not like a picture guy, for example, but like I do try to be like, I'm going to remember to have this memory, more or less.
Yeah, no, I feel you. And we could go forever on this, but also, isn't it interesting what things are committed to long-term memory?
Of course, you can't really decide.
Because I remember, I can remember what my mom ordered from a restaurant in Cleveland, but like, for what? Why did my brain?
The things that Gia will bring up from when she was like 2, and you're like, why was that? Like, we were just talking about the other day, she had this like fun day where like Abby's plans got messed up. So she took her to a place because it was like the only place to get food. I don't forget where it was, but it was like Red Lobster or something. It was just because it was near and she didn't know where else to go. And she was
easy. Yeah.
And so it's there. So we can quickly eat something. So she's cool. And, we can move and kill time without being sitting in a car.
Sure.
And then they went somewhere else after, and Gia remembers this forever. This is such an important thing that she did. When it's like, that was like a throwaway. You never know what's going to be the thing that like sticks with people.
Yeah.
So again, remembering to go slow and having fun with the fast stuff, it's all good.
Yeah.
Everything's good.
Yeah. Find a middle ground. Yeah. Find what makes you feel good. That's really the only.
There we go. All right. So we did philosophy at the end.
How long have we been talking?
Too long. 1:39. We gotta get out of here.
Thank you for listening.
Yeah. Several people, when we do the warehouse sale and stuff, come by and say really nice things to Chase and I all the time. And we've talked about this 100 times, so I'm not going to try to go all into it. But we work inside of this room, and we don't think too much about who listens or who cares and stuff like that. So it like, as much as we resist it and go, oh yeah, it's funny that you listen, blah, blah, blah. Legitimately, it's very cool that anyone would listen to this. And
very humbling. And
everyone's nice to us, and the community is so nice to each other. Seeing the same thing with it, we see it all the time with Discord. We see it so like when it's physical and there's a big line and everyone's hanging out and enjoying each other's company as much as they are coming to a warehouse sale.
Yeah, man.
And it's really cool. And then supporting people that we say to support, like dry storage and shit like that. Like, it's really meaningful and cool that anyone cares.
Really, truly
it's really nice of you guys, and we really appreciate it, even though it's like, we don't want to talk about it that much.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you so much. And we'll be back on Thursday.
Sounds good.
All right.